know, we only have so much time left on this earth. Time is finite. Today's a reminder of that. I'll explain in just a minute. Procrastination is a killer. It applies to everyone. It applies to all of us. I'm guilty of it too. But, you know, it's human nature. Everyone, my name is Edgar Ibarra. Let's go ahead and dive in. So everyone, let's be honest about the fact that procrastination, it's almost as if it's designed to be built into our culture. Everything from, you know, you open your phone and you open Facebook and there's notifications, the little red things like the slot machine ding ding dings that, you know, get you to get that dopamine hit, as we've all heard. And if not that, then we're scrolling like crazy, and just in the regular feed. Then you got the videos feed, then you got Instagram, TikTok. It's endless. You guys know what I'm talking about, and I'm not preachy here because I've not done it. I've also been sucked into the time suck of, you know, if it's not those things, then it's Netflix. I myself don't have Netflix. I don't have any of the viewing platforms. You know, getting sucked into those things as well too. I don't know, it almost feels as if they're designed to suck our time and our energy away from us. Why that is, and you know, why that's designed, easiest answer off the top of my head is money. The more they keep you watching, the more you can watch ads, and you know, somebody's making some money off of your attention. Attention is arbitraged. Or the more you are glued to Netflix after one episode ends and then the next one starts 30 seconds later, there goes a whole Saturday or there goes a whole Sunday. I've been guilty of it as well. It's crazy how much time we allow to be sucked away from us. And here's the thing, even when we're not procrastinating, there's still a ton of reasons why we a lot of times still won't do things. There are things like fear of failure, lack of motivation, feeling overwhelmed, on top of, you know, if you got to go to work, and then with the little time and the energy that you do have outside of work, maybe you're tired. You know, we've all been there. I've definitely been there. And so there's always going to be a reason to not get to that thing that has been in the back of your mind, to not work on that game plan, or that, you know, if you're trying to write a book or whatever your thing is, there's really always a reason why to not do it. Let's be honest about that. I haven't been on camera for a very long time. This is the first time in a long while that I'm doing this, but this is the thing that I've been procrastinating at. Before, I had, you know, Filmspiration, where I talked to other filmmakers, and that was fun, but that was already a few years back. I killed it back in 2020 when the pandemic happened. But I've been meaning to go back on camera. But, you know, number one, work, right? So the time and the energy that you have outside of work. And so you're like, okay, I'm tired. And so you give yourself a little grace, and you're like, well, you know, at least I'm doing the responsible thing. I'm going to work, I'm paying the bills, etc. So it's not like I'm, you know, just out in the streets. You know, I'm actually going to work. So there's a reason why I would give myself grace. But I had been wanting to get back on here and just procrastinating at doing so. Since last time I was on camera, a lot of life circumstances have changed. I'm going to go into those in further videos later on down the line. But basically, my being back on camera is breaking through my own procrastination and taking my own advice. And frankly, I don't even really want to preach toward anyone else. First and foremost, I'm going to try to hold myself accountable with these videos. So, you know, here I am. And I think last time I did this, I was 40 years old-ish. And now I'm 44. But it feels good to just be doing it again, and to have dropped that procrastination through things like the lack of motivation, the fear of failure, or in my case, it was just a lack of motivation, and also feeling overwhelmed with, you know, working so much and having very little time and energy outside of work to dedicate to, like, you know, your real life, going out with friends, just having a human life, and then doing a side project. So happy to be at it, and I'm gonna try to hold myself accountable. And this is the first step. One of the main strategies that I constantly bring back into my head to overcome the procrastination is remembering that life is finite, time is finite. Like I said, some life changes. One of those has been that my dad passed away October of 2023. That really changed things, and a lot of other things have changed since then. Again, later videos, I hope you'll tune in. But life is finite. Life truly is like there's only so much time that you have. You say, well, I'll do that next thing, or I'll do that thing tomorrow, or this weekend, or one day, or one of these days. And it's just like, life is finite. It really is. So you remember that. And today in particular, I'm happy I'm doing this video because uh, today I'm going to a celebration of life for someone who recently passed away here in my local community. This person, they were way too young, they went way too early, and frankly, it's not fair. But then again, life isn't fair. And this person should have had way more time, way more time. It's a stark reminder that nothing lasts forever and things last way shorter than you think that they would have in the case of this young person. I don't know. That's what I'm taking from today's celebration of life that I'm going to be going to in a few hours. Um, so there's that. There's life. Life is finite. Time is finite, and it goes by fast. And it's damn true. The older that you get, the faster it goes. So you say, okay, well, cool. Let's get some stuff done then. So here I am saying I'm getting back on camera, and I whooped out the tripod, got the phone, my microphones, and I'm just doing it. Screw it. As imperfect as it's gonna be, I don't care. And I think a big part to just doing it, to just in my case getting here on camera, or I've also been making some music um, with a website I've been working with, putting that out on YouTube. Though I wanted to try go back to this. You systemize things, and you say, okay, well, maybe some people say take it easy at first, and if you're making videos, like if that's what you want to do, or maybe your thing is pottery, or whatever your thing is, systemize. That's my 2 cents. What I mean by that is divide up your week, just like, for example, I do by going to the gym. You say, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, in the evenings for 2 hours, and I'm gonna commit to that. And I've fallen off the wagon here and there. No, that's actually for alcoholics, I think, that term. I've fallen off the horse here and there, but you get back on the horse. And so, yeah, like you get back on the horse, you start going to the gym again. But the thing is that you systemize it to, in my case, as per my example, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and Saturdays too. Or if not going to the gym, then you go out for a good walk, get your 10,000 steps in on your phone, or your little watch or whatever. You systemize it. And so in this case, for example, I don't know if I'll start off with a video putting out one video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see how that goes, but basically find a way to systemize it with regards to the time that you and the energy that you have available to work with outside of work. If you got that day job, as most people do, find a way to systemize it. And if it's going to be, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays, then you stick to that. And you come up with your own system, hence the word systemize. Whatever works for you. I really don't like it when people say, no, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. No, there's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's the way that you need to do it because of your schedule, because of your life, because of your free time that you have. So find a system, systemize your thing that you're trying to do, and do it to the best of your ability, and given the time and the resources that you have to work with. One of the best examples that I can think of off the top of my head where I systemized, putting a goal out there and then systemizing it so that I can attain the goal is back in 2018. I directed a film called All We Have here in Tucson, Arizona. Great cast and crew. And then, the pandemic hit. It took some time. It took some time to really edit the film. But honestly, part of it was I had not systemized my editing time, basically. So there came a time as we went into the pandemic, or maybe even just before that. I can't remember exactly when I started to edit the film, but here's the point. I said, okay, I have to be out of the house by 8. No, I'm sorry. I have to start getting ready for work at 8:30 so that I can leave the house by 9 so that I can be at work by 9:30. So meaning I had every single morning till 8:30 a.m. to edit the film. So no joke, I committed to getting up early in the morning. Here's why. Because when I was younger, I could pull the all-nighters after work because I still had a lot of energy after work, because that's the way it is when you're younger. It's perfect biological nature. What I did was I reallocated my time and my energy to the front end of the day versus the back end of the day. So as opposed to going to work and then coming home and hoping that I have the time and the energy, I just never really had the energy afterwards. What I did was I just reallocated that time and that energy to the front end of my day when I did have the energy because I was just waking up. So I committed to the reallocation of that time and that energy to 4 a.m. So no joke, the alarm went off every day at 4 a.m. And I was, was making a cup of coffee, and by 4:15 I fired up the computer and I edited from about 4:15 a.m. till about 8:20, 8:30, hell, sometimes 8:40 a.m. because when I was a cameraman for local news stations, all you really had to do was throw on like a polo shirt and some cargo shorts and a cap, and you were set. So no major big deal in getting ready for work, right? So I could push it to like 8:30, 8:40, hell, 8:45 sometimes. Still jump in the shower, be in the car by 9, be at work by 9:30, and then work till 6:30. And then come home, have dinner, and then go to bed. You're in bed by 10. You're up at 4 a.m. the next day. That system, it worked for me. So that's what I mean by systemizing it. Every now and then I would put out a post on Facebook while I was editing in those early morning hours. Maybe it was a shot of my cup of coffee with the keyboard, and those two were lit up by the glow coming off the screen, although you wouldn't see the screen like the actual scene that I was editing. And then the post on Facebook would say 4 a.m. because movies don't make themselves. And when we premiered the film, I cited those posts asking people, in the audience if they remember those posts, and a lot of people raised their hands. They're like, yeah, we saw your post. And I'm like, that's what I was doing. I pointed back at the screen in the movie theater and I said, this is what I was putting together at that time. So, those posts were referencing this editing of this movie. Figure out a way to systemize, whatever that systemization looks like for you. Again, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. You want to know what the right answer is? It's whatever works for you, your situation, your schedule, where you decide to allot your time and your energy. It's up to you. So just go ahead and systemize it per whatever works for you. So really just remember that it comes down to, or at least, the way that I work it out in my head, time isn't finite. All time ends. We only have so many tomorrows to get the thing done that we want to do, that project, that vision, that goal, that side hustle, that business, that movie you want to direct, that screenplay you want to write. Whatever it is, remember that time is finite. So get off your butt. And I'm talking to myself too here. I think I'm talking to myself first and foremost. Get off your butt. Do the thing because time is finite. Systemize. Figure out what time you have to work with, what slots of time, and if you have to, buy a calendar and look at what your week looks like. I do it mostly in my head because of new life circumstances that I'll talk about later on in other videos. I have a little bit more free time, so I really don't have to write it down, or at least I'm choosing to not write it down, because I'll just systemize in my head, like, okay, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, that type of thing, right? And systemize it to just to whatever works for you. And every single time you see it through, whether or not you want to do it, whether or not you have the energy, whether or not you're tired, if you see it through that night and you do that thing that you promised yourself that you were going to do, pat yourself on the back. That includes me too. I will pat myself on the back for having put out this video, which is the first time I go on camera in a really long ass time, but I'm happy to have done so. I'm going to pat myself on the back. You should pat yourself on the back for completing your systemization too, whatever that systemization looks like. Systemize. Do your thing. There's only so much time, everyone. There's only so much time that we all have. Now, here's the thing I want to know. I want to know your philosophy behind what motivates you to break that procrastination. Just what's your process? Because I'm giving you what's coming out of my head, but that's just what's coming out of my head. Like, how do you do it? Let me know in the comments below. Leave me the keyword systemize to let me know that you saw it to this point, and let me know how it is that you're going after that thing that you're trying to develop in your spare time outside of work, in the garage, that screenplay you're trying to write, that movie you're trying to direct, whatever that project is that you're trying to do. Let me know what you're up to, because I don't have all the answers. These are just, things coming out of my head. But if there's anything that I can learn from you, I'd be grateful. If you dug my information and my presence on camera, if I brought any value to you, Any sort of interaction like a thumbs up or a comment or sharing the video would be greatly appreciated, because as you guys know, the YouTube algorithm sees when value has been extracted from a video like this, and they're like, oh, you know what, like this video, we need to show it to more people. So that's why it would make a world of a difference to me, because I get to know that, I was able to provide you with some value or motivation. But what I'm really trying to focus on here is provide you with value. And if you're able to extract any value from this video, that will have made me happy. As far as for, the algorithm and how you can help in YouTube, a thumbs up, a comment, a share, anything like that, just any interaction is going to let the algorithm know, okay, you know what, like this Edgar dude, like he might be bringing some value to the table to everyone. And that's why it'll help, because then it'll push, the video up in the algorithm. Everyone, my name is Edgar Ibarra. Thank you very much for having me back on camera. It's been a while, but I'm happy to have gotten back on here to stop the very habit of procrastination that I'm preaching against in this video, and I'm going to hold myself accountable to my own medicine I'm dishing out here, first and foremost for myself. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye. Mic's still on.